A long road to recovery, that's the headline from the New York Times, and it captures exactly where the world finds itself right now. An initial deal between the United States and Iran is still on course to be signed on Friday. If the next stages of negotiations succeed, they could end not just the war but also the severe disruption to energy and trade flows that has been choking the global economy for months. That's the good news. But here's the hard truth: the war has already set things in motion that won't be easy to reverse, and the prospects for a lasting peace still look shaky. So don't expect the global economy to simply pick up where it left off before the US and Israel first bombed Iran back on February 28. Few corners of the world economy have been left untouched by these past 4 months of conflict. When Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz, Middle East energy exports dried up practically overnight. Oil and gas prices exploded. Inflation surged. The fallout spread everywhere: energy rationing in Asia, fertilizer shortages in Africa, grounded planes in Europe. And politically? President Trump is far from the only world leader whose approval ratings have dropped as voters despair over the cost of living. That enormous toll is actually one of the main reasons Trump has been so eager to end the war, and also one reason analysts think the current deal might actually stick. Many people around the world are simply desperate for this to be over. But bringing a global economy back online after months of running at reduced speed is neither easy nor fast. Economists are warning to expect the economy to be, and this is a direct quote, kicked onto a path of lower growth and higher prices for some time to come. So what does the road back actually look like? When the preliminary agreement to open the Strait of Hormuz was announced, markets responded with immediate relief. Oil prices fell to their lowest levels since early March. But getting substantial amounts of oil and gas actually flowing again is a far slower process. In the best of times, it takes weeks or even months to move energy from wells in the Middle East to buyers in China or Japan. These are far from the best of times. The strait isn't even open yet. There are concerns it may have been mined. When it does open, the first task will be clearing hundreds of stranded vessels, a process US officials say could take weeks on its own. Then comes firing up oil wells, refineries, and other infrastructure that have been sitting idle for months. Any infrastructure damaged during the war will need even more time and money to repair. And that's before you factor in trust. Energy producers in the Gulf need confidence that the US-Iran deal will hold before they'll commit to ramping things back up. The best-case scenario for finding a new equilibrium, according to Shell's chief executive Wael Sawan, is 6 to 12 months. Shipping companies are even more cautious than energy executives. One shipping executive told The Times it would take weeks or months before he'd feel comfortable sending ships back into the Persian Gulf. Beyond the logistics, the war has altered the global economic order in ways that already look permanent. Iran wants to impose fees on ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz, and its demonstrated power to disrupt shipping has driven up insurance costs across the board. The energy shock is also, as one economist put it, supercharging the hunt for alternatives to Middle East oil and gas. That push toward renewables looks set to benefit China, the world leader in wind turbines, batteries, and solar panels. Russia has gotten a boost as the world's second-largest crude oil producer. And countries across South America, Brazil, Venezuela, Colombia, Argentina, and Guyana are all ramping up their own production. The Gulf region itself may never be the same. Attacks on five-star hotels and airports have shaken its image as a beacon of stability. And for households everywhere, perhaps the most painful reality is this: the world economy is no longer on the path it was on at the start of 2026. Back then, economists were actually thinking about upgrading their growth forecasts for the year. Inflation was coming down, growth was picking up. Now, central banks around the globe are raising interest rates to combat inflation. The World Bank has just downgraded its global growth outlook, and a year that started with promise looks set to be a painful one. And that's if the deal holds. The initial deal is a start, but the world has a very long road ahead.